Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish all the moms out there a happy Mother's Day. They hope that everyone is able to show how much they care for and respect the moms in their life for this weekend especially, but in everyday life too. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals in everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
The Omaha Supernovas host their final regular season home game this Thursday, May 9th, versus the Columbus Fury at CHI Health Center in Omaha. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pierson and Renee Saunders starts at 6 p.m. with first serve at 7. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network.
School tells you all about the 4 seasons: spring, summer, and so on. And then there's a way we really tell what time of year it is. Sports seasons: football season, baseball season, or even off season. Well, what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now, of course. And now, and always. Whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated, it's time for the chocolate season, y'all. 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead at thechocolatseason.com. See you there.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Old School with DP and J.
Very small percentage of players, coaches, administrators thinking like, I'm planting my flag here. Nick Saban's run probably won't happen. It takes a very unique person and personality to be comfortable where you are, be strong enough to push to get what you need, and then also be very strong enough in a player's standpoint to advocate for yourself at the right time.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist. This time he beats the kicker and one more. DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. This is the Don't Punt Hour with the host, as always. We got DeMornay Pierson-El streaming in. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. If you guys ever want to join in on the show, we're on the FM airwaves. We got No Royals. Their game has wrapped up already. 402-464-5685. You can always join in that way, as well as put a face to the streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and as always, Allo Channel 961. Right off the bat, DeMornay Pierson-El, we got to dive into it. This year's NBA MVP puts him in some significant territory. Nikola Jokic has reached his third MVP. That puts him along Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Moses Malone, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and of course, Nikola Jokic. The only players to have 3 MVPs. You look at him 4 seasons in a row, finishing top 3 as well. The dominance of Nikola Jokic, despite being down 2-0 to the Minnesota Timberwolves, how sold are you that this is the best player in the NBA? Because it took a little while for people to admit it, but now it feels like it's pretty consistent. That is the consensus on him.
It's his reign. He's in the company of a very elite list. So you got to call a spade a spade. You got to give him his flowers. You got to admit it. Nobody's playing and doing the things necessarily at his level. You have to give him that. And respect his game or not. He's been dominant. Period. He's been a force to be reckoned with. He's been giving people a lot of nightmares. More so recently than not. But what you got to go against dealing with him.
Yeah, and you're totally right, because it was a pretty clear consensus for the most part. The way the votes broke out here, Nikola Jokic, 79 first-place votes, 18 second-place votes, and then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, second place, 15 first-place votes, 40 second place, 40 third place, and then we won't mention the fourth and fifth place votes, and then Luka at third with 4 first-place votes, 38 second, and 50 third place votes. I will say this though, Nikola Jokic, there was 2 people that voted him third place. Whoever voted that, they can't vote next year. They're done. That's like, are you kidding me? Have you watched it all?
That goes back to what gives people the credit to put their bid in for stuff. Like what qualifies them for these are going to be the guys to submit the picks or anything like that. Side note: Mike Riley got into the college football selection, stuff like that. You don't necessarily know or see how that went on, but he's a part of the selection committee. Yeah. Who goes into who picks stuff? Who says we're going to let him allow this to go on or whatnot from the media side and the coach's side or whatever.
Yeah, that's I did not. That one slid under my radar. May 3rd is when this ESPN article came out. Former Oregon State, and this one is from Heather, senior writer, ESPN. Former Oregon State Nebraska coach Mike Riley has been named the College Football Playoff Committee selection. Yeah, his athletic director Pat Chun, if I'm not sure which one's the correct pronunciation, who was appointed the 13th member committee when he was at Washington State, but stepped down when he was hired for the same position at Washington. Yeah, I don't know what qualifies you to get that, because Mike Riley, I'd have to figure out where he's at with the game. If that's an interesting one to dive into.
He was a part of the draft class that selected Ryan Leaf. So he's had a long, go at being a coach or whatnot. I'm not to say not to down talk him or anything like that, but what goes into, you know, who allows like the say so of picking, not just, you know, for something like that, but I mean, even with the, you know, the NBA playoffs of, okay, well, we're going to take your vote, but not Susie's vote just yet.
Yeah.
Like each year, does it change? Like, is it something like the House of Representatives and whatnot in the Senate? Do they switch back and forth? Like, you're in this year, you're not next year. You know, there needs to be an explanation of how that works and who's in it and how they got to their position.
Yeah, well, I know it's like prominent media members are a lot of it. So the process consists of 100 media members voting for their top 5 candidates. That's what we're going through before. The first place, blah, blah. We don't need to know the points. But yeah, it really comes down to 100 media members. Now, some of it makes sense. A guy like Bill Simmons, he talks about it on his podcast, having a vote. I'm cool with that. That guy's a bit of an NBA historian.
Mm-hmm.
But what to you should that selection committee even look like when you're going through? I think they got it right this year, but there's obviously times in the past where it felt like LeBron could have got another Kobe over Steve Nash that one year. I'll never forget.
I've came across some stuff where like Charles Barkley like explained it a little bit, and he wasn't necessarily saying it's right, but he was like, you know, typically the MVP goes to like if it's a star player or whatever, and if that player is like on the best record team, like they typically would get it. Now I don't know why that rule is or whatnot, and I feel like, you know, just because you're on the best, you know, record team, that doesn't, you know, that shouldn't be the only thing that, like, you know, seals it. Like I think they're kind of getting away from, you know, what actual, you know, the MVP is. Remember when we was having that conversation with, you know, Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
And whatnot of what stuff, you know, offensively, statistic wise and everything like that, from the offensive MVP to, you know, the MVP and whatnot. So I feel like it should go to, you know, who people can't do without. And like, if you take them away from or out of, like, you know, if you take them off of their team, like how would their team still function? I think if you take Joker off of the Denvers, or he doesn't play for Denver, Denver still will have, you know, a successful season, man. They might not get to, you know, the finals, or they might not win the finals, but they still have, you know, a lot of success with stuff and whatnot. And some of these other players, like Shaq, you take him off of that team, I don't know if that team is the same team without him.
Yeah, he dropped 29 again last night in their win over the Dallas Mavericks. I'm a little bit surprised by that. We haven't talked about those games yet, but yeah, what should that selection committee look like for you? I don't think it should be just 100 all media members, but obviously you want to avoid bias with coaches and GMs, and there's not a big enough officiating crew where you want to give them that honor either. Who should be making those votes? I
think it should be the players. The media can have, you know, a small percentage of what things are, or who they, you know, should pick or whatnot. But I think it should be the players should vote along with, you know, the commissioner could vote, and like just say if, you know, if something like along the lines of that, you know, gets even, okay, then you break like whoever's the third place, okay, third place house is between these two, and revote again and go like that. But I don't think the media should be the one who, because I mean, they can not like somebody, or they can have, you know, a grudge against somebody and, you know, always vote, or you know, they can write negative stuff online and put it in certain places to influence people and whatnot. And it's so much that the reporters see, but they don't see outside of, you know, the building and everything like that. You know, their job is just hard enough. I'm not saying they don't deserve to be there. I just don't think that they're with the influence that they have now should be as strong as it is with, you know, their vote says, oh no, it's going to be this person.
Yeah, I think there should be split. I want to exclude the media entirely, but again, I like the idea of giving them a small split, like you said, a small percentage of it. But having the players just seems like the easiest one, with the obvious rule: you can't vote for yourself.
That's what they do with the all pro stuff in the NFL. Like they send out the rosters, and I don't know if they do that with the NBA. I'm just saying, I don't know if they do that, you know, for the all-star stuff, if that's how it goes. But, you know, all pro, and you know, who you think is a all pro and pro bowler and everything like that, they send it out. You got literally Monday through Friday. Friday it needs to be done. And they have, personnel people. If a lot of people on the team, don't have stuff situated, they'll like, no, look, fill out the form, do what you got to do, and hand it in. And later on, or later on a month down the road or whatever, it comes out, who actually got certain things and whatnot. So I think that's fair. People, the players respect. You see, who their peers are and whatnot. And like I said, it just takes away, somewhat of the power that the media kind of like has and their voice. I'm not saying to diminish it or anything like that, but it's only they only see like, half of actually, what's going on, and you form an opinion and try and, pick up facts and go on about stuff and everything like that. So I don't think their opinion should be the one who, makes or break, who gets it or who doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I don't know how. I know in the NBA, when it comes to those all-star, like they split it up, kind of what we're talking about. The fans get a certain slice of the pie, players, and then I think it's coaches and media. I don't think players get a vote. They did at one point, and they made a joke of it. I guess that's the one fear, is when you give that to the players, how serious are they going to take it? Are they going to vote somebody crazy for the MVP award, skew the results? But I do think a percentage split probably the best way to go forward. But again, I think they got it right this year. There really is no argument. So it is one of those things, too. Does it really need to change? Because in the past, you could argue the MVPs were off, but it does feel as of late. I know it's 3 and 4 years for Nikola Jokic, but again, it's hard-pressed to say somebody else deserved that award. I mean, his stats are just what they are. That being said, though, we got to dive into it before we go to break, because the now 3-time MVP is down 2-0. And I don't think that game's starting to quite yet. But Timberwolves, Nuggets, the Timberwolves got to go on the road now. They're in what is going to be an incredibly intense.
Nuggets got to go on the road.
Yeah, Nuggets going on the road over to Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yes.
It's obviously going to be, if anybody's seen Timberwolves games, the Target Center is pumping. I did not realize. Yeah, there's a big basketball scene up there. I went there once. It was Timberwolves versus Lakers, garbage game. LeBron James didn't show up. Rajon Rondo was hurt. Lonzo Ball, the highlighted rookie, dropped 0 points. Ouch. I think Mo Wagner played the entire fourth quarter because the starters just got benched. It was terrible. And Karl-Anthony Towns somehow only got 1 dunk, and it was the worst loss in Lakers history over like the last, decade or something. Awful experience. That being said, there were still more Lakers fans there than Timberwolves fans there. And the Timberwolves stomped that poverty year of the Lakers by 30 points, and it was all LA fans in there. So to see that turnaround, that place is legit. There's a lot of people that are really buying into the team, and Minnesota's got to go play up there. Anthony Edwards, he just looks better by each playoff series. What do you got going forward here? Do the Nuggets pull this next one off? Can they steal the first one on the road?
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. They're going to have to play, almost a perfect game. Jokic might have to shoot from the opposite baseline and see if he can make it, to see how hot he is. Like it's going to be, one of them nights. Also with, the Timberwolves having off night, I don't see it. Is Gobert playing tonight?
I'd imagine he's their next game is not today. They got some time to rest. So Gobert's going to be back 100%. I doubt he's out unless something happens, but I'd imagine if they even want him back. I mean, my Lord, the last time they played, they didn't need him. That's the scary part if you're a Nuggets fan, is that without one of the 7-footers, you thought you stood a better chance.
Still got blown out.
Destroyed.
Twice.
Only dropped 19 points, which is low for him. Like, it's just, I mean, what is a Jokic stat line that he's going to have to average to close this series out if they have any chance of winning? Because I'm at that point to where the 3-time MVP, I hope it's get your popcorn ready and we're all going to find out why in this series. That's my hope. Because that's going to be a 50-20-20 stat line to close this thing out. Because I think,
and I feel like he can do that. And they might have just awoken a sleeping giant.
Yeah, what if he starts
but it's not gonna only be him. Like, as you've seen, how much did Murray have the other night? Did he have over 15?
He played pretty rough. I don't even know. I don't even think he had over 15.
I thought he had over 15. I don't know if he quite made 20, but I at least thought it was over 15.
I'll just check out the box score quick.
But they made them frustrated and upset, and it was a little rough game, but it was a type of game that Minnesota would like. And like I said, as long as the refs don't call chippy fouls and kind of take the air out of letting Minnesota still be the aggressive. They've played like that in both series, the series with the Suns and now, and it hasn't slowed down. So I thought they called some calls were questionable, but a lot of calls they were given both ways. But Minnesota is just gonna. I mean, not Minnesota. Denver's gonna have to. It's gonna be that a Rocky type fight. Is you gonna have to just keep swinging. Murray's gonna have to drop over 25. Yogi's gonna have to probably drop over 35. And you better hope somebody gets in foul trouble for the Timberwolves, and y'all slow Anthony down. But I mean, you've seen him be the reason why they take off, or be the reason. The facilitator or whatnot. So they have a tall mountain to climb in front of them. It's not going to be easy. And the Timberwolves are not going to let up, because if they win just one of the games, you're at 3-1.
If they win this next one, I think you're cooked. I think you're cooked right away. I mean, 3-0.
Are they getting swept?
No, I'm going to say the sweep's impossible. But if they lose this one, it's over. Like, this is just over for the Denver Nuggets if they can win this next one here, because this one just, man, I eat crow on this one. My playoff riser, Jamal Murray, the last game, you thought it was 16. I'll split that in half. 8 points, 3 of 18 from the floor.
He had 8?
8.
Wow.
Yeah, it was that bad. I didn't think it was that bad either. And
I thought at least like 14, 15.
Yeah, I even gave Jokic 3 more. He only finished with 16, not the 19 that I said. But yeah, so 17 points, made 4th in the second game, or in the first game, and then only 8 points in that second one for Jamal Murray. So the guy that I was calling the best playoff riser has not risen at all in this series. He's getting locked up. Anthony Edwards, he just plays that incredible defense. That's one thing I think with this Timberwolves team that got overlooked. Everybody knew they're a great defensive team, but I think a lot of people just attributed it to around the rim because they got 2 7-footers. You start looking at the perimeter guys, they are long and intense and aggressive.
A lot of their players are two-way players. They play offense and defense. And they have people that are similar, where they can interchange, and certain things will look different, but they're all explosive. They're all athletic, and they're all gritty, and they don't care. Like, they do not. So, I mean, it's good to see that the aggression and things that come out. I mean, I like when basketball is kind of somewhat physical, and it's not touch foul or people are crying a lot and getting it. And after if one person cries, then the calls start coming in and everything like that. So I mean, it was exciting to kind of see like actual basketball, like letting people go out and get a bucket and play.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. It feels like in the playoffs, especially when you get to that last like 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, they drag that thing out in like 15 minutes. Most annoying thing in the world, especially when you're rotating between like 5 commercials. If I got to see the SGA and Chet Holmgren, what a pro needs, I'm going to lose my mind. I am getting
anything from State Farm. I'm tired of the ludicrous one. Like, oh my goodness.
Ludicrous. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking about them. You got enough airtime. My Lord. Spend a little more money, get a few more ads in there. Those guys I wonder, that'd be a great conversation. We won't dive into it, but how much money do those guys have to pay just to have only those ads and those ads only? To buy out that entire ad block, that money's just got to be absolutely insane between State Farm and everybody else. But with that being said, who do you got in this series? Just flat out, and then we'll throw it to break. I'm going to hold true to the Nuggets.
I don't want the Nuggets to win.
Yeah, well, you're probably in the good camp to be in, because it does look like Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards and company, they're not slowing down. And you said it before, this isn't the type of team to roll over when they're up. They're not gonna. They're the ultimate kick you.
All gas, no brakes, burn the boats, whatever you want. Come and find out. You know the beginning of it. So they're that type of team.
Yep, well said. We'll throw the break. Dump Punt Hour with the morning Pierson-El. Harrison Arns back at the 1040 studios. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives. Herrick Services takes this time to wish all the moms out there a happy Mother's Day. They hope that everyone is able to show how much they care for and respect the moms in their life for this weekend especially, but in everyday life too. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
The Omaha Supernovas host their final regular season home game this Thursday, May 9th, versus the Columbus Fury at CHI Health Center in Omaha. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pierson and Renee Saunders starts at 6 p.m. with first serve at 7. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network. Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today. Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
You're spending $300 a month. Binge drinking is the most common form of excessive drinking, which costs the United States more than $191 billion each year. By drinking less, you will save $300 a month. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Celebrate the moms or special women in your life with the perfect gift from Riddle's Jewelry. Save up to 30% on our sparkling selection of diamond, gemstone, and gold jewelry. Riddle's makes gift giving easy. Find the perfect pair of matching items totaling $500 or more, and you'll receive a free jewelry case as our gift to you. Riddle's Jewelry, for life's special moments since 1959.
Located inside Gateway Mall. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
I'm Ryan Osted. Golf is great because it can be whatever you want it to be. If you want to go out and have a competitive 18 holes, you can make it that. If you want to go out and have a scramble and just have the time of your life, if you want to have a charity golf tournament to raise money for some great cause, you can make it that. It is flexible to be whatever you need it to be at that particular moment in your life. And I've needed golf to be different things at different points in my life. And I'm certainly thankful that I was able to learn the game as a kid and continue to play it now as an adult.
Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Second segment of the Don't Punt Hour here with the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El, streaming in. If you guys ever want to join the show, 402-464-5685. And this would be a good time to do so because DeMornay Pierson-El, what I got next is 247 Sports put out their preseason Big Ten power rankings. They got Nebraska at number 8. Not bad. I think if you take number 8, you're in the top half of the conference. You're bowling. It's not the season. They got it at 7. We'll go through the list here because this is what I want to do. We can kind of sync it up and see if ours are similar to 247 Sports. But let's go through one until we get to Nebraska in these preseason power rankings. Let's just see these way too far out projections, and you guys can join in as well. 402-464-5685. But when it comes to the preseason Big Ten rankings, again, that's adding the Oregon, Washington, UCLA, USC.
I got to see some of them team schedules because if some of those team schedules they schedules is cakewalks, then of course they're going to be ranked higher.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'll give you my first one. Ohio State. I think this is the year. I think they beat Michigan just without Harbaugh. I think
and Chip Kelly. Yeah, agreed. No, it's not close. Nope.
Okay. So we're both there on Ohio State. That is number 1. Number 2, this is where it gets hairy for me. Because do I trust Michigan? I think I do. I still think it's Michigan. I still think even though it's year 2, we've seen this when great coaches leave, the program doesn't just fall apart right away. They're typically good, and then maybe 2, 3, 4 years down the road, Nebraska, you see what happens. It starts going downhill pretty quickly. So I got Michigan number 2. Who do you like?
Michigan has a new. Does Penn State have a new quarterback, or they still have the same quarterback?
Let's see. I think they got the same guy. I'd have to double check here.
Penn State. I'll go Penn State.
Penn State. That's not a bad one. I think this is where it gets hairy for me. Like, do I throw in a Pac-12 team? Do I throw in the Mighty Ducks? Because the Oregon seems like they could be pretty solid next year as well. And as you're talking about schedules, there seems like a schedule that could actually work pretty well for them. So you got Penn State, no Michigan yet. Ohio State, Michigan. I'm going to go Penn State too. I'm not going to trust the Pac-12 team that quickly.
I'll put Michigan at 3rd.
Okay. You got Michigan at 3rd. Number 4. Boy, this is where it starts getting really hairy. I think... it grosses me out just thinking of teams like Iowa and Wisconsin being up there. I think Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, they're all going to be kind of interchangeable. My bias is going to push Nebraska ahead of a lot of people. I think it's going to be unfair, though, if I just think all these Pac-12 teams are going to stink. And I used to think it was Washington. They lost a lot. I'm actually going to take Oregon. Oregon at 4.
I'll agree with you with that one. They got the what's the did the kid from Oklahoma go to Oregon or go to SC?
Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah.
He's the Oregon Duck now, I believe. Let me double check.
Okay. I'll take Oregon. I'll take Oregon at 4.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel.
What's their
Yeah, he's Oregon.
The Pac-12 teams. Let me go ahead with the next one.
See, this is where am I just like think that USC is going to stink and I'm just going to stay away from USC, or do I take them seriously because that offense is high powered? But we've played Oregon in the past. When they have this high powered offense, they come to Lincoln, they get up on us early, and then they fall apart. And Nebraska's actually won those last 2 visits despite Oregon kind of coming out in a hurry. I just don't know how much if I want to trust those Pac-12 teams. Like, I'm already maybe kind of regretting putting Oregon that high. I think at number 5.
SC's non-conference game is LSU, Utah State, and Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
And Notre Dame's the last game of their season.
I think I'm going to stay away from them then. I think I'll probably stay away from USC if that's the non-con.
Let me go to Oregon.
We got Justin chiming in. He says Nebraska 5 preseason power rankings. I'm close. I'm close because I'm starting to get. That's what I'm talking about.
Oregon has Idaho, Boise State, and I guess Oregon State will be their 3rd non-conference because they're not in the conference anymore.
Who's that you just said for those non-con games?
Idaho, Boise State, and Oregon State. Oregon's at 4.
Okay.
So with their schedule, Oregon's at 4.
Fair. Justin, I might want to put. I'm so tempted to put Nebraska at 5.
Oregon's at 4.
You got Oregon 4.
Oregon's at 4.
So the lineup. This is me and Pierson-El, the former Husker wide receiver. We got his preseason power rankings, Big Ten only. Ohio State 1, Penn State 2, Michigan 3, Oregon 4. Mine, not too far off. I got Ohio State 1, Michigan 2, Penn State 3, Oregon 4. So not a whole lot of variation. This is when it starts getting sloppy because now we're already kind of flirting with those teams. Definitely not going to take Iowa at 5.
Absolutely not.
I think this is going to be maybe one of those years they finally get that wake-up call, especially if they see in a lot of these Big Ten teams.
I don't care if they had 3 preseason All-Americans. I'm putting Iowa at last. I don't care.
I agree entirely. Number 5. Give me Nebraska. I'll take Nebraska at 5. I think a lot of these teams are interchangeable. I'm not sold on it. But you look at Nebraska's non-con schedule as we're talking about, if we're really going to take that into consideration, there's no reason Nebraska with the schedule they have can't get there. Not when you get to Ohio State later in the year, things get tough. Ohio State, Wisconsin, Iowa to finish things out. But there's a lot of runway to get your figured out. Like there's plenty of room.
Hopefully 7, 8 wins. Hopefully before then.
They cracked my top 5. Maybe biased, maybe not. I think a lot of these teams are actually pretty interchangeable, though.
I was just looking at Washington's schedule, but Washington is rebuilding a whole.
Yeah, that's why
they're rebuilding a whole department. So
they even got to replace Troy Dannon. I don't know if they have yet.
I
think they're going to adjust the best to the Big Ten, but again, just tough timing because, like you said, they got depleted. In management, players depleted. Seriously, man, it's ghost down. No, it's just the Washington. They'll be fine, but probably not next year.
I think I can see Nebraska at 5. I can see 5. I'll go with 5. I'll roll with 5. Like that's not too high.
What a world! Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Oregon, and Nebraska. Oregon again. Oregon's going to be a get your popcorn ready and watch team. How do they adjust to the Big Ten? Because it seems like at times they should have, with a lot of those non-con games, they kind of get shown up in terms of those long, grinded out games. They haven't done very well. Number 6, give me Wisconsin. Give me the secondary version of Nebraska.
Give me the secondary version of Nebraska.
I mean, that's what they beat us with Nebraska plays. I should say style, not plays.
Let me see.
It's kind of messy. Like otherwise, you're throwing, you're flirting with ideas of like maybe Rutgers, Northwestern. Northwestern's always a tough one because you could arguably put them as high as in the top 5, and nobody can necessarily bat an eye because after last season, like my lord, they got to a bowl game. Nebraska didn't. There's absolutely no reason that should have happened, but you give credit to Northwestern. They always find ways to play better than what their talent says on paper.
A 5, give me UCLA.
Oh, yuck. That's the first one I hate. UCLA. What about UCLA?
somebody from one of those new teams, their schedule is going to be different. They got, a new coach over there, but I mean, he's been in the facilities for, I think, 2 years. I think he's going to, change up things more so to smash mouth football. That they have, so a lot of pieces coming back. I think, some of those newer teams are good. Some of the new teams coming into the Big Ten are gonna have a cakewalk schedule. So that's why I say UCLA.
Yeah, we got some disagreement there. 4424. None of the Pac teams will do well unless they change 25 years of finesse football. It's gonna be interesting. It's definitely a litmus test to see how well those guys adapt. We heard it with when Scott Frost got to the Big Ten. They're going to adjust to us. Absolutely not. We had to adjust to the Big Ten.
UCLA non-conference is Hawaii, LSU. Yep.
They got Fresno State late.
And Fresno State last. They got their last three of their 4 last games are people that they commonly play.
Yeah, I'm looking at the beginning, though, and this is what gives me worries. LSU to Oregon to Penn State, back to back to back. Those 3. And then Minnesota. The way Minnesota plays, that's kind of a nightmare for UCLA as well. Then Rutgers, but then you're back to Nebraska. And if I'm as high on Nebraska as I am this year, that's tough. And then you play Iowa. Iowa's going to be the ultimate test for all these Pac-12 teams. How much can you slow down and play concise football? And then Washington, I think their schedule is brutal. Just because early on, I think you can go 3 straight losses and then trying to pick yourself back up. That's another reason to put him low.
You think Indiana's going to beat UCLA?
No, I'm talking LSU, Oregon, Penn State. Those 3. Indiana, no, they're not high on my way too early preseason.
I think the first 2 games they'll win. The next 3 they'll lose. Minnesota, I still think they'll edge out Minnesota. They got Rutgers. I still think they'll edge out Rutgers. Nebraska, we gonna punish them. Not worried about that. Iowa probably will beat them. UCLA versus Washington, they used to those type of battles. So that's what I'm saying. Their last 3 games, they know how to play them. So that's why I'm like, you got. I'm picking UCLA. It is what it is.
Okay, so that's your second Pac-12 team. You got 2 Pac-12 teams cracking into that top 10. I got the one with Oregon. I got Nebraska, Wisconsin. For my 7th, I think I'm going to stay with the Big Ten here. Give me the Michigan State Spartans. I think they bounce back.
New coach, new quarterback.
Take a look at their non-con while we're at it as well. Because this matters a lot, especially the non-con, the way it works out, especially if these rankings, how they're actually going to play out. That non-con schedule matters tremendously who they're matching up against. So they got FAU. That's a nice one off the bat there. FAU, Prairie View, Boston College. Oh, yeah. Give me. And then they got a nice schedule. It's a little messy in the middle, but it starts nice and it ends nice. So if you're a Michigan State, you got FAU, then you got Maryland, Prairie View, Boston College. Then it gets tough. Ohio State, Oregon, Iowa, Michigan. That's a 4-game brutal stretch. But then you get Indiana, Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers to finish out the season.
I'll take Wisconsin. Give me Wisconsin.
Okay, you got Wisconsin. I took Michigan State. That's not a bad one there. How much time? Okay, we got time for probably one more, and then we'll get to the 10 on the last segment there. Oh, I'm not touching Iowa. This is a point where I could go ahead and slot Iowa in there. I'm not going to do it. They're not going to make my list. Absolutely not. Oh, man. I might go wild card here and just trust Northwestern for constantly throwing up the wild cards. Give me Northwestern before I take another Pac-12 team. Give me the team that seems to figure it out regardless of circumstance.
Ooh, okay.
Give me, this is number 8. And then on that last segment, we'll have the last 2. And 402-464-5685. Give me your top 3 preseason, way too early preseason Big Ten rank.
I'll go Michigan State. I don't really like Maryland because Maryland lost a lot too on the offensive side and defensive side. So they're rebuilding there. That's young. Illinois, you never really know with that. They had the one good year. Or
where are you at with Brett Bielema before we get out of here? Because I thought Illinois nailed it with that head coaching hire. Just hasn't been there.
I like what I like it. It's just, can you keep the kids in Chicago not from leaving the state?
Yeah, that part.
That, or can you sneak a couple kids from Ohio, some of the good ones from away from Purdue, away from Indiana. So we'll see. It's just they got pieces.
They're split. They're really split.
They got pieces. It's just I don't think they're all the way there yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially after last season, it's like you lost so much momentum for a lot of those recruits, and then, like you said, they're in a region where it's easy to get poached.
Mm-hmm.
There's some big dogs and that's consistently what's happened in Illinois in the past. And despite the coaching there, the best players, they move across state borders. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't think it's a Brett Bielema issue, which is crazy. I really feel like he's done a great job there. They're more respectable than they have been really in a while, maybe since like Smith was back there. But yeah, it's just, I think it's the recruiting back there is incredibly tough. And the Big Ten, just a brutal conference to be a part of to begin with. But with that being said, we'll throw it to break. We'll give the last two. We'll give number 9 and number 10 in our way too early Big Ten preseason football rankings. Don't go anywhere at the Don't Punt Hour with the host, as always, Nate Pierson-El streaming in. We'll throw it to break. Talk to you guys in just a little bit.
Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln Families as their realtor for more than 31 years. And I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
School tells you all about the 4 seasons: spring, summer, and so on. And then there's a way we really tell what time of year it is. Sports seasons, football season, baseball season, or even off season. Well, what's